What is the funniest thing that has happened to you during a work day at OnQ Global?
When I was supervising that one of my team, a team member, he came to me and he was like, "Hey, I have a question. What does it mean when attorneys call and they want peanuts?" And I'm like, "What? What do you mean that they want peanuts?" I'm like, I don't know. I just had an attorney call and he said that he needs a peanut. And I was like, "And what did you tell him?" "Oh, I told him that we'll give him a call back. I put a note on the account, but what is a peanut?" I was like, "A peanut? Why would an attorney be calling to ask for a peanut?"
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of In the QSeat with Mr. Sean. And I am really happy to be here with our Vice President of Operations, Edith Alvarez. And this week is really important because she's actually leaving Panama to move to the U.S. And it's been a long journey for her. She grew up in Miami. Both of her parents are U.S. citizens. Her sister is a U.S. citizen, and she moved back to Panama after she finished with her schooling in the United States. And her parents have been really working hard to get her U.S. citizenship, and that paperwork and all that process has finally come to fruition. So she's moving to the U.S. to start the process there. And I know we're going to miss you here in Panama, Edith. But I'm going to get to see you more often in the United States when I'm there. So first of all, welcome to the show. And how are you feeling?
Well, hello, everyone. For me, it's a little bittersweet, this whole move, I would say. Like you said, I moved back here. It's been over 10 years now. And growing up in the United States, it was a very challenging fit to move here, a different pace. It took me a lot of time to get acclimated to this new environment. But now that I'm leaving it, I'm very sad. I've been here. I worked hard. I have my first house here. I've made so many good friendships here that are more like family now. My dogs are here, which are like my kids. So it's very bittersweet. I'm happy that I'm able to go travel, see family members in the U.S. But, it's hard to live the life that I made here as an adult woman in Panama.
Right. Well, I know everyone's proud of you, and all of your friends and your extended family here are always going to be your extended family, and you're going to get to come back and visit. And so I'm wishing you all the best. And that's why I really wanted to have this QSeat with you today, because you leave tomorrow. And so let's just go through it, and we're going to do just like a real show and start out with when did you first start with OnQ Global? So tell us about your first role, and how has it changed to you becoming a member of the executive team?
Yes, well, I started officially, date is May 18th, 2015. So it's been already over 10 years. Yeah. I started like everyone in this company. I started as an entry-level trainee. You trained me. You were my trainer. And 4 weeks later, I was assigned to a customer service project. I would say maybe 6-8 months later, I became a team lead. Then I became a supervisor. I think it was 2017, our first management retreat. I know you, yes. 2017, right? Yeah. You promoted me 2 weeks before the management retreat so I could go. So yes. And then right before the pandemic, my new role became an RCM director. And then, 2 years later, I became VP of operations. So it's been a crazy journey. It's been fulfilling. It's been a roller coaster up and down, but I'm so happy that I'm here 10 years later.
Well, and you truly are one of the strongest examples of elevate others, looking at how we've elevated you from those early years. And I always tell the story, and I've got to tell everybody the story of, she was a very needy trainee. She always wanted that recognition. And when we were doing a certain online testing, you would get a picture of your certificate on the screen. And Edith was like, "Well, I need my real certificate." And I remember thinking, really? I mean, you're getting the recognition. No. She wanted a real certificate. So I stayed late and I printed all of her certificates. There were several modules that she had to go through. I printed several copies of each. So I'm pretty sure there were over 100 certificates. And I stayed late and I put them all over her computer, all over her desk, all over her chair. So the next day when she came in, her desk was covered in certificates, because I knew that she would get a kick out of it. And we can still laugh about it to this day. And then it was your 3-year anniversary.
Yes.
I knew her 3-year anniversary was kind of special for us. We had special gifts when you hit 3 years. And so I made sure I printed like 50 certificates for you that day too, as a reminder of
and pictures of me and everything.
So it's been a great journey with you. So what motivates you to give your best each day at OnQ Global?
I think what motivates me is knowing that I'm part of a company that truly believes in its core values, like embracing diversity. And I love that we stand for that. We work as a team. We give opportunity to everyone. We give opportunities in communities where there's not a lot of opportunity. And I think that that's what drives me to give my all, so I can continue building on this environment where everyone feels valued and included.
You definitely do that every day. And so speaking of you enjoying seeing and representing our core values, in what ways do you see our core values in action in your daily work?
I mean, I think that we do a very good job of recognizing when people do a great job, when people are creating value. The can-do attitude, I see it every day, and people volunteering to do, videos for the company, doing things like that, volunteering to train new people that come in. That can-do attitude, you see it every day. The commitment to quality, I see it every day from our employees when I see our QA scores, and when I'm in meetings with clients and clients are happy with the work that our agents are providing. And, we do embrace diversity so much. We have leads that are managing people in Kenya and in India, and vice versa, people in India managing people in Panama and Kenya. So it's awesome to see that and be part of that environment.
Yeah, that's really great, and I appreciate because you're doing the same thing. I think you are definitely someone who represents our core values every day. From obviously embrace diversity, but you do a great job of elevating others, and you're creating value to the company, and you just continue every day, and it makes me really proud. What is the biggest challenge you face here at OnQ Global, and how did you overcome it?
For me, I remember a time that was very tough was when I was managing a very challenging client, and we had very emotional, demanding calls, and it took a toll on me. I would say personally, it drained me. It made me not like my job, and I hated that. So I think that something that helped me was actually you. You pulled me. I remember you pulling me to the side, pulling me to your office, and say, "Hey, what's going on? Talk to me." And then you gave me a lot of advice, and you told me that you saw something in me, that you saw me having a future here. And I said, okay, you know what? I do have to take a step back, not take it personal, and just let it flow, and then just push through. So that's the mentality that I took. Even when I was dealing with tough calls, I didn't take it personal, and I just Sean has a vision for me, so I'm gonna stay on. And then 4 or 5 years later, this is where I'm at. So exactly. I'm happy that I stuck to.
I do, and it's funny because I remember that conversation, and yes, it was challenging for all of us, and I think you obviously were successful through that, getting us through a really challenging time. Customer service, that's one thing we just have to understand. There are always going to be those days that it may not be the most fun job to have, but I think you get to balance it out. There are those days where, man, you're just, even those patient calls that you just get, and you got so many kudos from patients with that client that when calls got escalated to you, you knew how exactly to handle them. So I think that it all balanced out for you, obviously, because you're still with us, and look at where you are. So, okay, so funny question. What is the funniest thing that has happened to you during a work day at OnQ Global?
I want to say a story of when I was supervising that one of my teams, my team member, he came to me and he was like, "Hey, I have a question. What does it mean when attorneys call and they want peanuts?" And I'm like, "What? What do you mean that they want peanuts?" I'm like, I don't know. I just had an attorney called, and he saed that he needs a peanut. And I was like, "And what did you tell him?" "Oh, I told him that we'll give him a call back. I put a note on the account." "But what is a peanut?" I was like, "A peanut? Why would an attorney be calling to ask for a peanut?" And in my mind, I'm like, what are some attorney terminologies or things that they might call and ask for? And I was like, "You mean a subpoena?" And he was like, "Oh, yeah, that, a subpoena." So I think that was one of the most hilarious stories at a work for me as a supervisor. I just couldn't believe it.
Oh my gosh. This is a trip down memory lane. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna break the memory lane travel. We're gonna do the quick fire round, okay? Pick one or the other. City skyline or countryside view?
City skyline.
Comedy or drama?
Comedy.
Oh, really?
I mean, it depends on the mood. Sometimes you just want a real nice cry. Sometimes you want a really nice cry, but I like comedy.
Wine or beer?
Where's tequila? Neither.
I was gonna say I knew you don't like either of those. Sushi or ramen?
Sushi.
Donuts or croissants?
Jelly-filled donuts.
Yes. Okay, what is one word that you would use to describe your experience at OnQ Global?
Life-changing. I mean, look at where I'm at now. I started over 10 years ago. I was someone that I didn't keep a job that long. Like I job hop a lot when I was younger, maybe 2 years top. I stuck through. I made a career out of this. I've been able to travel. I was able to go to a safari and see zebras. I was crying when I was seeing the zebras. And, it's all thanks to this job that I was able to travel to Kenya. I've been able to travel to India. I've been in a lot of places. For me, it's truly life changing. I've been able to buy my first home and made a life here in Panama that I truly have enjoyed over the last 10 years. And it's been all thanks to OnQ.
We thank you for everything you've done. And to those viewing, you can tell by, I'm sure you can tell by our show and being together today. I've really looked at Edith kind of like a daughter at times. And I'm super proud of what you've done, Edith, and how you've grown into the leader you are today. I'm wishing you all the best in your travels tomorrow and settling into your new home in the United States. I know that you're going to be settling over the next couple months, but obviously I'm going to see you at a client meeting in 2 weeks. So
Yes.
I'm really, really happy for you. And I'm really excited for this next chapter in your life.
Thank you so much. Thank you to you and OnQ for everything that you've done. And I'm just happy to be part of the Q family.
And we are happy that you are. So you have a great rest of your day. And I know you got a lot to get ready for tomorrow. So buen viaje.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
I'm sure you can tell with that episode how much Edith has meant to me over the years, and I say that I feel like the dad of over 800 kids at times, but I've watched Edith grow as a leader, and she's a great example of our core value of elevate others. In OnQ, all of our operational leadership, they've all started at entry-level positions. And so I know in a lot of companies, they bring in managers and supervisors from other businesses, but I really wanted to make a point in our culture that our operational leadership has always come from within. And so Edith, starting at an entry level, has risen to the position of Vice President of Operations. Our executive team is made up of 8 individuals, the 4 owners, and we have 4 vice presidents, and all 4 of them started at entry level positions and moved their way up to sit at the executive table. And so it makes me proud to know that we are truly elevating others. And to find out more about all of our core values, go to onq.global and have a Q-mazing weekend.